What's up, babies? I am back. This is actually a day and date video. This is the first time I'm actually recording a same day to air video in like a month. As I've mentioned in the last few pre-recorded videos I did, I was traveling and I am back from my trip. I had a fantastic time. I have some stuff going on this weekend, so I'm planning to film a get ready with me where I can do kind of a more chatty video and talk a little bit more about my trip for those of you who are interested, because I know only my ride or dies watch my get ready with me's, and those are probably the only people who would be interested in that. But this is just kind of a bonus video of sorts. I really just wanted to get on camera and say hello to you guys, because even though y'all have been seeing me once a week, sticking with my normal-ish schedule, I just wanted a reason to hang out with you guys today, to be perfectly honest. Like, this is not a normal day for me to shoot or even upload. I tend to upload on the weekends, but it's Friday, so close enough. So in the event I'm able to film and upload that get ready with me, where I do a little bit more chit chat about my vacation this weekend, this will basically just be more of a bonus video. Or I guess that will be a bonus video depending on how you look at it. I've been back for about a week now. The last video you saw actually uploaded after I was already back, but I knew that I would be far too exhausted to film and upload last weekend. And I haven't even finished unpacking yet. I still have quite a bit of stuff to kind of put away and launder and all that, but I thought some of you guys might be interested in seeing what I bring in my travel bag for skincare and personal care. I do travel with a little bit of makeup, but I had that in a separate bag. I'm not really going to go over that in this video, but if you guys would be interested in seeing what's in my travel makeup bag, which again, fairly minimal, let me know. Usually I can't be bothered with putting on makeup when I'm on vacation and stuff. I wear hardly anything, and it probably would have to be because I'm like going to a bar or a club at night. It's pretty easy for me to just slap on some sunscreen and keep it pushing the majority of time that I was out there. But yeah, this is just a little travel bag. I got it from Target. It's by Sonia Kashuk, which is, you know, their line or whatever. She comes out with various collections of travel bags and like brush holder cups and things a couple times a year. I'm not going to get into it because I've had it for over a year and it's no longer available anyway. The first thing I'll talk about is really just getting it out of the way, because I already talked about this in my Shit I'm Loving Volume 2 video that went up a couple weeks ago, but it is my lotion P50 1970. I'm not going to do any cut-ins on this video, any insert shots of the products, because I'm going to list them all in the description box, which I already do anyway, but I really want to be able to make sure I can get this edited and uploaded as quickly as possible, and doing inserts takes a fair amount of time, so I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to tell you guys everything in the description box in case it's hard to see on screen, like this teeny little bottle. This was one of my go-to exfoliators on the trip. I have oily skin, that is my skin type, so my cell turnover rate is quite high, and exfoliating for me is critical. I love this product. I will not be without it for more than a couple days at this point. I'm just grabbing things out of the bag here. These are not in the order of my skincare routine by any means, but next is the Pure Skin Face Cleanser by First Aid Beauty. I really like this cleanser. It's more expensive than what I like to pay for a cleanser because this is a mid-range to high-end brand. It is on the prestige side of cosmetics at Ulta, and they sell it at Sephora, so that should give you an idea. I think you can get a big thing of this, like an 8-ounce container, for 30 bucks, but I mean, I have purchased that, I will admit, but I don't know if I'm going to continue to do so, because while I do really enjoy this cleanser, I just don't feel like a cleanser should be 30 bucks. I've said that verbatim in one of my past skincare videos, and I still believe that. I think I just felt like burning money. But this is a sample size that I got at some point along the way. This is a 2-ounce, and I've just been bringing this anytime I go out of town. As you can see, I've used it on quite a few trips at this point. Really like this cleanser. I just think it costs too much for a cleanser. Another First Aid Beauty sample. See, this is why samples are good. Most of the time they end up going in the garbage, but if there's something that I know that I like, I will save it and use it as a travel size. So this is a sample of the Ultra Repair Cream by First Aid Beauty, and I use this as a nighttime moisturizer if and only if I need it. I was in a very warm environment. I was in Paris, Rome, and Barcelona. Those were all very, very warm because I was there in May and June. So I didn't really need an additional layer of moisture in the evenings, but in times when I do like to use this whenever I'm traveling. So I brought it with me just in case, but I didn't end up using it at all. This is my Time Revolution First Treatment Essence. I also talked about this in my Shit I'm Loving Volume 2 video. This is their Intensive Moist. This is just a tiny size version of the exact same essence that I showed you in the other video. This actually came as a gift with purchase with that bottle, so I figured it would be perfect for travel, and it was. I talk a little bit more about the product and what essences are in that other video in case you're interested. Next, I have to have a retinol with me anytime I travel. I will not go without a retinol because I have to say, I went to Paris first, and in Paris, my skin was looking fucked up. Just so many texture issues. I had a couple breakouts that went on, and my skin generally doesn't break out, but the truth was I was so jet lagged that I would pass out at like weird times of day, and like I would pass out at like 6 p.m. and then wake up in like 3 in the morning and wouldn't have done my nighttime skincare routine. So my whole skincare routine and schedule was completely out of whack. And I definitely missed doing all of my skincare routines on a few days. So that, in addition to just the long haul flight itself, really took a toll on my skin. As you can see, I have a mysterious beauty mark here because my skin is still recovering from all that travel. But after I had been in Europe for, I would say, half a week, I managed to acclimate to the time schedule over there, the time zone, and I was able to get back on my skincare grind. And I would say that almost immediately after resuming my normal skincare routine and using my retinol at night and things like that, my skin started to improve. You can only do so much when you are flying 5 times or so in 3 weeks, which is what I did because I was going from country to country and all of that. But nonetheless, I do think that it is critical for me to travel with a retinol. In this case, I had the Exuviance Super Retinol Concentrate. This was my first tube of it. I'd been using it prior to leaving on this trip, and as you can see, I'm pretty well through it. I picked this particular one to bring because of the packaging. It was very slim. It seemed like it would be very travel-friendly being in a tube, and it still has a pump so you can make sure that you get sort of an accurate amount each time you use it. I don't particularly love this retinol. It's not my favorite. I still much prefer the Peter Thomas Roth Retinol Fusion PM or the Obagi 1.0 Retinol Serum. I would say those are the 2 favorite retinols that I have tried to date. This one was good enough to tide me over, but I doubt that I'll repurchase it. I also brought this mini size of the Luna Oil by Sunday Riley. I've gone through at least 2 full-size bottles of this, and I just use those to refill this little mini that I got as a sample at some point. But I think I got this sample after I had already purchased the full size and decided to just use this as my travel Luna, and that's what it's been. This little bottle has been with me on many trips at this point. I really love that Luna oil. There have been many trips where I brought only this and not any other actual retinol, because this is not quite the same as using like a super potent retinol. It's like a retinol ester in an oil, so it's a little bit different. But if I can only bring one thing, like I only have room for one thing for whatever reason, I tend to go with this because my skin likes it and it works for me. It does have fragrance and dye in it, so that grinds my gears. You guys, if you've watched my skincare videos, you know how I feel about that type of thing, but the results that it gives my skin are really nice, and I like how easy it is to work in when I'm on the road. I can just add it to, say, the First Aid Beauty Ultra Repair Cream when I'm getting ready for bed at night, add a few drops in, do it all together, one and done, hit the hay. Aside from retinol, a critical element of my skincare routine is sunscreen. This is the 2-ounce bottle of the Josie Maran Argan Daily Moisturizer SPF 47. Talked about this product a few times before. This is my favorite sunscreen that I've ever used. I have oily skin, as I said, but I do not recommend it for oily skin. It does leave you looking quite shiny, especially if you already have oily skin. But because if I'm doing my skincare routine properly, my skin behaves more like normal skin, I'm able to get away with it. In worst case scenario, I just blot my face with a paper towel or something to get rid of some of that top layer of oil. But this is super moisturizing, so I don't feel like I need to moisturize underneath the sunscreen. It's a mineral-based sunscreen because I do not rely on chemical-based sunscreens ever at all. If there's a chemical-based sunscreen in foundation or something that I'm putting on top of my sunscreen, so be it. But in terms of actually protecting my skin from the sun, minerals and minerals alone are what I trust. I will not go anywhere without this. Next is another sunscreen, and this is what I use for body. This is the Kiki Pure and Simple SPF 45. This one I pick up from Whole Foods, but I think you can buy it directly from Kiki's website, which I would imagine it's kikipureandsimple.com. I have actually purchased from Kiki's website directly as well, and I didn't have any issue the one time I did that. I originally used this as my daily facial sunscreen before I discovered the Josie Maran one, but I stopped using it because I didn't really want to use it in the first place. Number one, it has a strong, strong fragrance of bananas, and I found it so nauseating and off-putting that when I first tested it on my hand in the store, I wrote it off as something that I could never use because I found it just really, really gross. But I was having so much trouble finding a mineral-based sunscreen that didn't have other ingredients that I was trying to avoid that I decided to give it a go. The other reason I don't really like to use this on my face and why I eventually stopped using it on my face once I found the Josie Maran was this contains coconut oil. Coconut oil is in fact the second ingredient in it. Now I love coconut oil for my hair and my body, but coconut oil is one of the most comedogenic oils that there is, so I don't like putting it on my face if it can be avoided at all. So while this did serve me well for a year or two until I've tried the Josie Maran sunscreen, now I stick to it just for body and it works just fine. It also can have a tendency to pill up depending on what is underneath it, so that was another reason I didn't necessarily love it for my face. And I've never had that issue with the Josie Maran where it pills up or anything. It doesn't leave a cast, it doesn't pill up. The only thing is just sort of like the shine factor, which I've learned to live with. So that is the first side of my little organizer thing, and then on this side you'll see there's like a thing where you can put makeup brushes. In this case I just have a little Ziploc bag with some Q-tips and some cotton rounds in there, and then we have what's on the other side. I could not be without my Drunk Elephant serums. I talked about these both a couple times. I talked about them in my 2016 beauty favorites, I believe, and as well as in my products that don't get enough love on YouTube video. And then immediately after that, all of a sudden, everybody was talking about these products and anti-hauling them and shit. But I love these products. I've gotten really, really great results. I feel like they were able to progress my skin to the next level of improvement because a lot of you guys are so sweet. I get so many compliments from you guys on my skin and all that, even when I'm not wearing makeup on this channel, which is very surprising to me because I am not genetically blessed that way. I do not naturally have nice skin. It's been many years of researching and learning about skin and skincare and trial and error and trying out products that actually work to help improve my skin because I have acne-prone skin. So even the fact that breakouts are a very, very seldom occurrence for me now is kind of amazing, let alone the fact that anyone would say that my skin looks nice. I digress. These are coming with me everywhere I go. They're only 1 ounce containers despite the price. So they're totally fine to carry in a carry-on bag or whatever if you're worried about that type of thing. And because of the way they open and close, I also feel like they're nice and secure in my bag. And this is the C-Firma Day Serum and the Glycolic Night Serum. I don't use this if I'm using the lotion P50. While I was away, I switched from using my P50 to evenings instead of mornings. When I was using it here at home, I used to use it in the mornings, and over vacation, for whatever reason, I decided to switch to using it in the evenings, and I basically would alternate. Like one night I would use this, the next night I would use my T.L.C. Framboos, and that's kind of what I've still been doing now that I'm back home. It basically means I'm exfoliating my skin a little bit less because essentially I was doing it twice. I would be exfoliating in the morning by using this in the morning and then exfoliating again at night by using this. But I'm actually playing around to see if maybe I was over exfoliating. I don't know. Maybe it'll be better for my skin to exfoliate only once a day, so I'm still playing around with that. Next is Bioderma. This is a gift with purchase size I got at some point, and this is not the normal one that I like. My favorite one is the one for sensitive skin, which has the pink cap. But again, this is just a travel size one that I'm able to carry with me. This is 100 mils, so it's underneath the max of what you're allowed to bring in a carry-on bag. So I like to bring this with me just basically to, if I'm wearing makeup or just to even get off sunscreen, because sunscreen can be hard to remove. I like to go over my face with one of my trusty cotton rounds that I showed you in that Ziploc bag first before I actually go in and wash my face. And of course, this is my day-to-day makeup remover always, whether I'm at home or on the road. Last up are probably the most boring things, like my toothbrush, some toothpaste, fluoride-free of course. My normal day-to-day toothpaste comes in a little glass jar, so I'm not going to travel with that because that would be fucking crazy. So I usually just use some Tums or whatever I can get in the travel size section at Sprouts or Whole Foods. Anything fluoride-free is fine with me. It's just a travel toothpaste, so I don't really concern myself too much with the other ingredients as long as it does not contain fluoride or anything else that is like terrible. I've talked about why I avoid fluoride in my previous videos, like my all-natural dental routine video, so I will link that if you would like to learn more about why I don't use fluoride. Last items. Floss, because as I mentioned in that same dental video, I floss every single day. This is actually the backup floss that I brought with me because I finished the other one that I had while I was out there. I was gone for quite some time. Then I have my little cuticle nipper as well as some nail clippers, because you definitely don't want to leave home without those. There is nothing more frustrating than having like a hangnail or a broken nail that you don't want to rip off because it's only partially torn off, but you don't want to like make it worse. So it's always good to have that kind of stuff with you. And that is it. That is everything that was in my little travel skincare sundries personal care bag. Like I said, more than anything, this was just an excuse for me to hang out with you guys and show my face again, even though I've still been showing my face the entire time I've been gone. This is just my hobby, but it's a hobby that I enjoy, and I really enjoy talking to you guys. And I'm a little overwhelmed by all of the comments that I have to catch up on now that I'm back, so I'm not ignoring you guys. I just haven't had a chance to go through them all because my actual job always comes first. Luckily, I'm mostly caught up on that and getting back into the groove of things over this past week, so I'll be able to address a lot of your comments, hopefully this weekend. That's it for this video. Thanks for hanging out with me and watching, and hopefully I will see you guys again this weekend for a little get ready with me, talk more about my trip, chit chat, key type of video. Bye bye.
That's a nappy-headed hose there, I'm gonna tell you that now.